Oh, we'd get into terrible arguments, my mother and I. Once when I was 12 or 13, I told her that God was a moronic fairy tale. I think I spent an entire night putting those words together. And she said, "How dare you speak that way to me?" As if she were the slandered party. Shortly after Marie died, I became engaged for a very short period of time to a very romantic Frenchman whom my mother despised and whom consequently I adored. We screamed ourselves hoarse many a night over that man. And you know, I haven't even thought of him. I haven't even seen him since I left him. Pardonnez-moi, Maurice. Since he left me. What had finally happened was, well, I was pregnant. And I didn't exactly see myself as as my mother. Maurice did, but then once, in Mama's last years, when she was not altogether lucid, I told her in a burst of anger that God was dead. You know what she did? She got down on her knees and prayed for his soul. God love her. I wish us atheists had a set of words that meant as much as those three do. Oh, I was never the devout Catholic. My doubts about the faith began when I was 6. And after Marie died, I walked away from religion as fast as my mind would take me. Mama never forgave me, and I never forgave the church. But I learned to live with my anger, forget it even. Until that day, she stepped foot in my office. And then every moment after that first lovely one, I became more and more entranced. Marie.
Yes, doctor.
Agnes, I'd like you to tell me how you feel about these.
Oh, I don't like them. They frighten me. I'm afraid he'll drop them. They're always growing, you know. I'm afraid they'll grow so fast they'll wiggle right out of my arms. They have a soft spot on their head, so if you drop them and they land on it, they become stupid. That's where I was dropped. You see, I don't understand things.
Like what?
Numbers. You could spend your whole life counting and you'll never reach the end. Just don't understand.
Yeah, I don't understand it either. Do you suppose I was dropped on my head?
Oh, I hope not. It's a terrible thing. One of the greatest tragedies of life. To be dropped on your head. And it's not just numbers. There's other things.
What things?
Everything. Sometimes I wake up and I just can't get a hold of the world. It won't stand still.
So what do you do?
I talk to God. He doesn't frighten me.
Is that why you were a nun?
I suppose so. I couldn't live without him.
Agnes, don't you think God works through other religions, other many ways of life?
I don't know.
Couldn't I talk to him?
You could try, but I don't think he'd listen to you.
Why not?
Because you don't listen to him.
Agnes, have you ever thought of leaving the convent? Something else?
Oh no, there's nothing else. Being here makes me happy, it helps me sleep at night.
You have trouble sleeping?
I get headaches. Mommy did too. She'd lie in bed with a wet cloth over her face and tell me to go away. Oh no, but she wasn't stupid. She was very smart. She knew everything. She knew things that nobody else knew.
What things?
The future. She knew what's going to happen to me. That's why she hid me away. I didn't like going to school very much. Besides, I like being with Mommy. And she told me all kinds of things. She told me I went to the convent, and I did. She even told me about this.
This? Me?
This.
How did she know about this?
I don't know. I don't know.
Come on, Agnes.
Who told her? You laugh.
I promise I won't lie. Not tell.
Who told her, Agnes? An angel when she was having one of her headaches.
Did your mother see angels often?
Only when she had her headaches, and sometimes not even then.
Do you see angels?
No.
Do you believe your mother really saw them?
No, but I can never tell her that.
Why not?
She get angry. She punished me.
How did she punish you?
She punished me.
Do you love your mother, Agnes?
Oh, yes, yes.
Would you like to become a mother?
I can never be a mother.
Why not?
I'm not old enough. Besides, I don't want a baby.
Why not?
Because I don't want one.
But if you did want one, how would you go about getting one?
I'd adopt it.
But where would the adopted baby come
From an agency.
from? For the agency.
From someone who didn't want a baby.
Like you.
No, not like me.
But how would the person get the baby if they didn't want the baby?
A mistake.
How did your mother get you?
A mistake. It was a mistake.
Is that what she said?
You tried to get me to say that my mother was a bad woman and that she hated me and she didn't want me. But she was a wonderful woman, a saint, and she did want me. You're not interested in the good parts about her. All you're interested in is the sickness.
Agnes, I cannot imagine that you know nothing about sex.
I can't help from stupid.
And that you have no remembrance of your impregnation.
He made it up.
That you had no identity.
It's not my fault.
And that you don't believe that
It
you
was a
carried
mistake.
a child. What? The child?
No, nuns don't have children.
Oh, Agnes.
Don't touch me. I know what you want from me. You want to take God away. You should be ashamed. They should lock you up. People like you.
You hate us, don't you?
What?
Nuns. You hate nuns.
What are you talking about?
Catholicism, then.
I hate ignorance and stupidity.
And the Catholic
I haven't
Church.
said anything about the Catholic
This
Church.
is a human being we are dealing with, not an institution.
But the institution.
Catholicism is not on trial here. Now I want you to deal with her without any religious prejudice or turn this case over.
Who the hell do you think you are? You come marching into my office trying to tell me how to run my affairs?
It's my affairs, too.
Who the hell do you think you are? You walked into this office expecting applause for the way you treated this child.
She's not a child.
She has a right to know that there's a world out there filled with people who don't believe in God and who are not any worse off than you. People who go through their whole lives without bending their knees once to anybody. People who still fall in love and make babies and occasionally are very happy. She has a right to know. You, your church, and your order kept her ignorant.
Oh, we can barely do that.
Because ignorance is next to virginity, isn't it? Poverty, chastity, and ignorance. That's what you live by.
I'm not a virgin, doctor. I was married for 23 years. I have 2 daughters. I even have grandchildren. Surprised? It may also surprise you to know that I was a failure at both being a wife and a mother, possibly because I shielded my children from nothing. Out of the womb and into the big bad world. They won't even speak to me. That's their revenge. They're devout atheists. They probably tell their friends I've passed on. But don't tell me, Dr. Freud, I'm making up for past mistakes.
You can help her.
I am.
No, you're not. You're shielding her. Let her face the big bad world.
Meaning you?
Yes, if that's what you think.
What good would it do? No matter what you decide, it's either jail or the nut house. And the difference between between the two is very thin.
There is another choice.
What?
Acquittal.
How?
Innocence. Legal innocence. I'm sure the judge would be happy for any reason to throw this case out of court.
What do you want?
Answers.
Ask.
When would Sister Agnes have conceived the child?
About a year ago.
You don't remember anything unusual happening around this time?
Earthquakes.
Visitors.
No. She was singing a lot more then, but dear God. The sheets.
What about the sheets?
Oh God, I should have known. I should have suspected something.
What do you mean?
Her sheets had disappeared. One of the other sisters complained to me about it, so I called her in.